I want to get to the game last night because, my God, they needed all of Jimmy Butler to be all the Jimmy Butler things to get past a team we know wasn't going to win the championship. That team of 30-year-old people are going to have to do it an awful lot against teams a lot better than Memphis. But they got the one they needed last night to improve their seeding. How much fun was that for you? Because Golden State is going to be one of the primary storylines until they're eliminated.
I mean, it was a really fun game for a bunch of reasons. First of all, the clash of styles. Memphis is big. They were attacking the glass. Golden State small and kind of crafty. They start the game up big because they're just playing smarter than Memphis. And then when you get to the second half, Memphis starts to figure it out a little bit and slow things down. And particularly Curry, the crazy thing was, for about 85% of the night, I said, Curry's not having a good night. Yeah. Curry's not having a good night. And then it's just like, boom, boom, boom. And I look up, he's got 37.
No, but that's why they got Jimmy. The difference in that game is Jimmy and Steph get free throws, and Ja didn't.
Ja got hurt. But
right.
but I think Jimmy got free throws. Jimmy
Steph was 11-11.
I know, but hold on. Jimmy manufactured free throws, meaning we're trying to guard you, you're going to foul me because you can't guard me. Steph was the beneficiary of Jimmy's fouls because now someone getting aggressive like Scottie Pippen Jr. trying to pick up 90 feet, fouls Steph 45 feet away from the basket, he's shooting free throws. He shot a lot of free throws simply based on the fact that they're in the penalty, and they're in the penalty because Jimmy Butler. So it's one of those things. It wasn't that Steph got to the free throw line as much as Jimmy got to the free throw line and Steph was the beneficiary.
My larger point is that the Golden State Warriors have never had the player that gets to the free throw line. Clay and Steph have been great at making their free throws, but Jimmy Butler will go stop the game by just pump faking a couple of times, and next thing you know, yes, Ja got hurt, but if you're going to win a game like that, Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry knock out Ja Morant, it can't be between those players that two of them on Golden State have 30 free throws and Memphis's has 3.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a clash of styles. I know people are going to disagree with me here. I felt Memphis messed up with a lot of Zach Edey, even though he had a lot of rebounds and was.
He was always guarding Jimmy.
It was insane. We were sitting
How did that happen every time?
Zaz, we were sitting there on media row and said, "Oh, this is their plan," and then of course they have the 5-second count late, and everyone says, "How does that happen?" I said, "I'll tell you how it happens. You fired your coach with 2 weeks ago. You got a new coach, I'm not putting it on their new coach.
It seems like you are.
No, quite the opposite. I'm putting it on management because you give a guy 2 weeks to have to come up with stuff like it.
I don't need 2 weeks to know that Edey should be going Butler. I know that.
That's a good point.
It's on the coach.
That's a great point.
I mean, that's on the coach.
But also,
thank you, Zach.
Also, that's how he got the job.
Blaming management.
That's how he got the job, right? Because management was saying that Taylor Jenkins, you're not playing Edey enough. This is a guy that we put all our eggs in this basket. You got to play him more. So it's like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Oh, but this one's hugely interesting at the intersection of all the things changing in that sport. Is Gobert going to be able to play now or not? Is Edey going to be able to play this time of year or not?
Dan, it is incredibly disrespectful to compare those two. I would infinitely go into 100 million series with Rudy Gobert as my center playing 40-plus minutes before I have Edey out there.
But Dan's asking, will you win any of those series?
I'll win more than I win with Edey.
Wait, no, I'm not asking that. I'm asking and have been asking since he was drafted. Hey, that can't play in the league anymore.
I'll say this. I think he's better than what I thought he would be as far as physically, but last night was a great example of like, dude, this ain't the stage for him, and it's not because he's a rookie. It's because he's physically incapable of even pretending to guard anyone out there. At least Rudy Gobert has decent, for his size, lateral movement, great length.
Defensive player of the year, too.
Yeah, and no, I mean, like, beyond all that.
Yeah,
like
they're hunting him at the end of the game.
But this wasn't even a hunting at the end of the game. It was hunting at all times. Mm-hmm. He was lost. There was one play where it was literally someone, I think it was Podziemski, cuts back door, and he has to turn his whole body around to see what happened. And then he turns around, the ball gets to Jimmy, and he's like, oh, I got to close out to Jimmy. And it's like, you're dead in the water, kid.
I mean, that game wouldn't have been close if the Warriors lost and they had to play the winner of tonight's game, Sacramento-Dallas, on Friday. Like, that game wouldn't have been close, but how much fun would that have been if it's an elimination game for the Warriors and it's not even the playoffs? That's what I was rooting for Memphis to win last night just so we could have that chaos on Friday.
Zaz, Dan just called them a team of 30-year-olds. He's absolutely right. That was an elimination game for them because they were like, there's no way we can play until Friday in this play-in and then Sunday turn around and play game 1 against Oklahoma City.
Right.
Sunday was actually last Sunday against the Clippers. That was their Valhalla. They messed up. So they knew on last night, there's no chance we can let this thing extend anymore. We need the 4 days of rest.